Yeah, I was just saying, I'm used to looking a little bit lower down in the lineup for my name, but I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous at first, and anytime you're playing with guys of that caliber, it's I'm fortunate, but you got a little bit bigger expectations. At the same time, I realize that I'm not up there to play that skilled game that those guys are so good at. I'm there to do what I've been doing all year, just use my size and my speed to try to create space. And I talked to those guys individually after practice, and I just said, be a little bit patient with me, and they said, absolutely, don't try to do anything, and anything that out of your comfort zone, just go back, get pucks back, and we'll do the rest. Just go to the net. So again, that stuff's easy for me. If I do what I'm good at, they'll do what they're good at, and hopefully we can find some chemistry.
What were your thoughts on the game Saturday? Like, how did you assess the team's performance?
Yeah, it was. We had some good stretches, and we had some stretches where we just weren't connected, and I think that's the main thing. We just weren't all on the same page at the right times, and we had a couple chances. We didn't generate a whole lot of ozone, but we didn't give up much either. So it was just one of those games where it kind of just seemed like we're out there working hard, but you were kind of doing a lot of nothing. So again, there's a good group of guys in here. It's a long season, and there's going to be times where you go through stretches like that. But we just got to get back to our basics and fall back on our structure and get back on the same page. We'll be good to go.
What makes the Matthews-Marner chemistry special from what you've been able to pick up this season?
I mean, they just find each other all the time, and again, you have world-class vision like Mitchie, and Austin can just do it all. He can obviously rip the puck, and they just work so fast, and I think the game's so fast. So, again, I can't try to speed up my thinking to try to get on their level because I just don't have that. But again, I just need to slow it down and stick to what I'm good at. And like I said, that's just going into those corners, try to win those battles, and get the puck back for them, and then try to push a D back and little things like that. Those are wins for me. That again, just creating space for those guys to do their magic. So that's what I'm going to be doing here tomorrow, and hopefully again it works out.
Was there any discussion from the coaching staff on what they want to see from you, or is it sort of what you just said about your game?
No, I mean, I talked to Savard after practice a little bit. Savvy's great. Obviously, he's been around the league a long time, and he was a skilled guy. Played with a lot of different players, and he just told me some of the best times that I was putting up points and we were doing well was with the goal scorer on one side and more of like a grinder type guy on the other side just to create space. So that's my objective for tomorrow, I guess, and I'm just going to take it a shift at a time.
What's the thought process heading into a game against a Dallas team that's 8-1-1 in their past 10?
Again, that's a good squad. We're going to obviously go over what they do in video and stuff like that, but we got a squad in here too that does pretty well. So we like our odds. Again, we got to address what we need to address over some of our mistakes the past few games, and like I said, it's we got to get connected. If we do that, and we're playing in their face and hard, we don't give them time and space to make plays and roll around our defensive zone, then we'll be good.
Yeah, obviously not our best. Obviously a team that defends really well. Have built a good identity with the way they want to play. Certainly, off of last year, the success they've had, and into this year. And we had some good looks early as the first period. I thought built. We had some good zone time and started up our pace a little bit, but we weren't able to break through, and then we just weren't able to sustain that and find a way. And teams defend you hard, and they're tight inside. You got to find ways to break them down, and that's on us to do a better job. So we really didn't give up a whole lot. So at the end of the day, you got to find some goals to win a hockey game, and certainly power play, we have to do a better job.
Whether it's 5 forwards or whether it's 4-1, do you think the dam's going to break at some point with the power play?
Yeah, I mean, I think before going into the last game, the couple games before that, I know the one didn't count as a power play goal, but came maybe a split second after. So we've had some results, and we've had some good games, and we've had some key goals, some good moments. I just think that we can be more consistent in a lot of things that we do, and certainly in our execution and the level that we expect to be at on a night-to-night basis.
What was the focus today? Would you say if there was a point of emphasis from the work today? Obviously, a lot of focus on it today.
On the PP?
Yeah, on the power play.
I think it's just executing with the puck. Then you just got to work. I think just understanding your role and responsibility. Go out there and go out there and execute in that role. It's not always perfect. Mistakes happen, and plays aren't always perfect, but it's the way you stay with it and compete, and just more often than not, we have to execute, especially I think with the type of talent that we have, the success we've had in the past. So just reinforcing those habits and going out there and pushing one another and pushing yourself.
Chris Versteeg and Francois Beauchemin to Los Angeles Kings, possible deal with Toronto Maple Leafs. In an interesting twist in the NHL trade market, new rumors are emerging about Chris Versteeg and Francois Beauchemin potentially being traded to the Los Angeles Kings. Sources indicate that the Kings, who have been one of the most active teams in recent weeks, are evaluating the possibility of bolstering their defense with Beauchemin, while Versteeg, who brings strong offensive capabilities, could be a key piece in a larger trade. This move becomes even more intriguing considering the Kings' surplus of offensive pieces available for trade, exactly what the Toronto Maple Leafs are looking for to strengthen their roster. It's speculated that with Versteeg included in the deal, the Leafs could be targeting a possible addition like Wayne Simmonds, along with a mid-range draft pick. This move makes sense given Simmonds' struggles this season, as he has yet to find his top form on the ice. To add more drama to the trade talk, there are even whispers that veteran defenseman Tomas Kaberle could be included, opening the door for a potential pursuit of Brayden Schenn. If completed, this move could have a significant impact on reshaping the Leafs lines and adding more depth to the team. Stay tuned for updates to see if these trades come to fruition and how they might shape the future of Toronto and Los Angeles this season. In an interesting twist in the NHL trade market, new rumors are emerging about Chris Versteeg and Francois Beauchemin potentially being traded to the Los Angeles Kings. Sources indicate that the Kings, who have been one of the most active teams in recent weeks, are evaluating the possibility of bolstering their defense with Beauchemin, while Versteeg, who brings strong offensive capabilities, could be a key piece in a larger trade. This move becomes even more intriguing considering the Kings' surplus of offensive pieces available for trade, exactly what the Toronto Maple Leafs are looking for to strengthen their roster. It's speculated that with Versteeg included in the deal, the Leafs could be targeting a possible addition like Wayne Simmonds, along with a mid-range draft pick. This move makes sense given Simmonds' struggles this season, as he has yet to find his top form on the ice. To add more drama to the trade talk, there are even whispers that veteran defenseman Tomas Kaberle could be included, opening the door for a potential pursuit of Brayden Schenn. If completed, this move could have a significant impact on reshaping the Leafs lines and adding more depth to the team. The Kings' situation is complex, as they are in the midst of a transitional period. Their aging roster, which includes a core group that led them to several successful playoff campaigns in the past, has seen some struggles in recent seasons. While there's a clear need for defensive help, Los Angeles may also want to improve their offensive consistency in order to make a deep playoff push. The combination of Beauchemin's defensive reliability and Versteeg's offensive upside could help the Kings balance their lineup. From the Leafs' perspective, this potential deal is about retooling for the future. The team is in a position to compete, but they also need to solidify certain areas on the ice. Adding a player like Wayne Simmonds could provide the grit and scoring touch that the team has been missing. Furthermore, acquiring a mid-range draft pick could help with future team-building efforts, as Toronto looks to remain competitive while still developing young talent. The inclusion of Kaberle in the trade package could be a strategic move for both teams. The veteran defenseman, who has been with the Leafs for a long time, has seen his role diminished in recent seasons. However, his experience and offensive abilities could be a valuable asset for Los Angeles, who could use a steady presence on the blue line to help their younger players develop. The talk surrounding Brayden Schenn's potential involvement in the deal adds an intriguing layer to the negotiations. Schenn, a versatile forward, has shown flashes of brilliance but has been inconsistent at times. If the Leafs are able to land him, it could be a great opportunity for both the player and the team to find success together. Schenn's physicality, two-way game, and leadership could be exactly what the Leafs need to bolster their forward group. While the trade market can be volatile and unpredictable, these rumors suggest that both the Kings and Leafs are preparing for significant changes. For Toronto, this could mark the beginning of a new era, with a focus on adding more experience and depth. For Los Angeles, the trade could be a chance to retool and address some of the weaknesses in their lineup, while still competing for a playoff spot this season. Of course, as with any trade rumors, it's important to remember that these discussions are fluid and can evolve quickly. There are many moving parts in these types of negotiations, and both teams will likely have to weigh their options carefully before making any final decisions. It's also possible that other teams could enter the fray, further complicating the situation. In the coming days, fans of both teams will be watching closely to see if any concrete moves are made. The NHL trade deadline is fast approaching, and teams are scrambling to position themselves for a successful postseason. Whether this rumored deal materializes or not, the possibility of a major trade between the Leafs and Kings will certainly keep fans on edge as the season continues to unfold. The trade talks involving Versteeg, Beauchemin, and potentially Simmonds or Schenn highlight the delicate balance that NHL teams must strike between immediate success and long-term growth. Both the Leafs and Kings are trying to find that balance, and this rumored deal could ultimately serve as a defining moment for both franchises. Only time will tell if these discussions lead to a significant trade that changes the course of their seasons. As the trade deadline approaches, the intensity around rumors like these only increases. Both the Los Angeles Kings and Toronto Maple Leafs are under the microscope as teams look to improve their rosters for a potential playoff push. The Kings have been known for their strong defensive play, but they are currently struggling to generate consistent offense. Adding Versteeg could address this issue, as he has proven himself as a capable top-six winger, and his experience could be crucial in the high-stakes games ahead. On the other hand, the Leafs have been one of the most exciting teams in the league offensively, but their defense has been a point of contention. Boescheman's presence on the blue line could offer much-needed stability. The veteran defenseman has the ability to shut down opposing forwards while also contributing offensively, making him an ideal fit for a team like Toronto that's looking to improve its defensive depth. There are also whispers that the Leafs could be eyeing other potential trades that could impact their future. With a number of prospects already developing in their system, the team might look to trade for established players who can make an immediate impact. This would allow the Leafs to push for a deeper playoff run while continuing to build for the future. Acquiring more assets like Schenn or Simmons could make Toronto a more well-rounded and dangerous team come postseason time. While the prospect of a trade involving Versteeg, Boescheman, and players like Simmons or Schenn is tantalizing, it's important to remember that these deals don't always go as expected. NHL trades are often a game of high-stakes negotiation, where teams must find the right balance of value for their players. If either team overpays, they could regret the deal in the long term. Therefore, both the Leafs and Kings must approach these potential trades with caution and be sure they are getting the right pieces to fit into their systems. One factor that cannot be overlooked in this trade talk is the timing. With the NHL season already well underway, teams are more reluctant to make big moves unless they're confident it will benefit them immediately. The Leafs, in particular, are in a good position to compete this season but need to fine-tune their roster to reach their full potential. If this trade is going to happen, it will likely need to be finalized soon to give the players involved enough time to settle into their new teams before the playoff race intensifies. For the Kings, the need to revamp their offense has been a pressing issue. The addition of a skilled player like Versteeg would inject some much-needed scoring depth into their lineup, but it might not be enough to make them a serious contender unless they make other moves. The Kings have a solid defensive core, and adding Boescheman could help them become even more difficult to play against in the defensive zone. If these players are swapped for the right combination of offensive firepower and draft picks, it could set the stage for a stronger second half of the season. Another element to consider is the cap space situation for both teams. The Leafs, who have a number of high-salaried players, may need to make some financial adjustments to accommodate new acquisitions. The Kings, too, will have to assess their payroll to ensure they're not stretching themselves too thin in the pursuit of improving their roster. Both teams will need to be strategic in balancing their financial commitments while also adding pieces that will make them competitive. As these trade rumors swirl, the speculation around the potential outcomes continues to fuel excitement.